The world died in silence. Satellites blinked out. Towers fell. In laboratories buried beneath mountains, the final whispers of genius tried to outrun extinction. One man, a genius inventor, coded his legacy not into machines, but into memory. And then, he woke up. Young again. In another world, the locals called it Gaerwyn. But he saw echoes of Earth. Chapter 1. Ash and Bone. Pain was the first thing he felt. His eyes opened to a strange sun, larger, redder, hanging low in a sky that looked almost painted. He coughed dust, tasted iron, and realized he was lying in a pit of ash and broken branches. Birds with violet feathers shrieked overhead. He sat up slowly. His limbs were smaller. His body, young. He looked at his hands. Smooth, calloused only in places where a child might play, not where an inventor worked. A scream echoed. He turned. On a ridge above, figures appeared, tribespeople. Primitive. Painted in charcoal and red earth. Spears aimed. Kairos, as he remembered calling himself, raised his hands. They shouted words he couldn't understand. Then a tall man stepped forward, blade sharp and gaze sharper. Trespasser, the man growled in a guttural tongue. Kairos swallowed. Survival required more than strength. It required intellect. Help, he croaked. Water. The blade didn't lower. But the man didn't strike. Chapter 2. The Tribe. They dragged him into the village, more dead than alive. Clay huts surrounded a smoldering fire pit. Children stared. Dogs barked. The tall man was called Harkle, chief of the Emberfang tribe. The Emberfangs were one of several surviving clans in this part of Gaerwyn. Their territory lay in the Verdant Run, a narrow fertile valley hemmed between the Scarlands and the Hollow Peak Mountains. Kairos, now given a corner in a communal hut, observed everything. They stored food in pit caches. Used obsidian-tipped arrows. Their sanitation was non-existent. Disease would spread in weeks, maybe days. He sketched symbols in the dirt. Basic diagrams. Filtered water using coals and layered sand. Showed them how to cook without fire using acidic leaves and heat stones. Slowly, eyes began to widen instead of narrow. Then he met Liren. She watched him like a predator. Lean. Scarred. Beautiful in a terrifying way. A hunter. A survivor. She spoke to him with suspicion. You talk like an elder. But you smell like a boy. He replied, I remember a world that burned itself down trying to be gods. I'm just trying to rebuild it. She didn't smile. But she didn't walk away. Chapter 3. Sparks in the Dust. Kairos requested materials: bark, stones, vines, fire-hardened clay. He built a rudimentary aqueduct for the village stream. A wind trap to cool their food pit. A basic water wheel that spun and stirred curiosity. Children watched him like he was performing magic. Elders feared him like he was magic. He taught them about hygiene. Rot. Fermentation. Soap made from ash and fat. Some laughed. Some protested. But the infant death rate dropped within weeks. He adapted old science to this strange land. The sky bore twin moons. Magnetic storms raged unpredictably. But gravity held. Plants grew. Energy still followed thermodynamic laws. He called this fusion of the old and new world knowledge the science of artifice. Then the scouts returned. Another tribe, the Bonehowlers, was approaching. A raiding party. The village prepared for the worst. Cairo prepared something else: sling-powered ballistae, spike trenches, and flaming traps. When the Bonehowlers came, they met fire and stone, not spears. The tribe rallied behind him. And Harkle began to listen. Chapter 4. Novaterra. The wall was first. A massive perimeter of stone and timber, reinforced with bone and pitch. Then came the fields, organized in tiers for irrigation. Roof tiles, clean wells, watchtowers. They called the place Novaterra. New Earth. Other tribes noticed. Some sent emissaries. Others sent spies. Cairo welcomed both. He built a council chamber. Taught numbers and record keeping. Created a central calendar. Introduced writing based on glyphs he uncovered from Hollow Peak. Novaterra grew, not just in size, but in identity. Liren walked beside him more often now. She listened when he spoke to children about learning. She watched him teach her people to think. She asked him one night by the river, "Why are you doing this?" He looked at the stars. "Because someone has to start again." She placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then I'll guard your back." Chapter 5. Hollow Peak. The mountain called to him. Beneath Hollow Peak, he found shattered metal, collapsed tunnels, and whispers of a lost age. He uncovered rusted panels etched with ancient glyphs. Batteries long dead. A sealed vault. Project Kairos. The words echoed in his mind like memory. Gaerwyn, he realized, was not an alien world. It was Earth, fractured and reborn after cataclysm. The fall had changed more than civilizations, it had changed continents, creatures, climate. He pieced together fragments. This was once a hub of advanced civilization, before the fall. Before the machines turned. And then Liren vanished. Her patrol never returned. Chapter 6. The Ashen War Machine. A rumble shook the valley. From beneath the earth, metal giants clawed upward, centuries-old war constructs, guided by corrupted code. The Ashen War Machine had awoken. These were the remnants of humanity's war with its own creations. Autonomic weapons built by orbital intelligences. Villages burned. Screams echoed. Novaterra was next. Cairo scrambled. Using ancient parts from Hollow Peak, he built Prototype 03, a crude but powerful mech, operated by resonance triggers and neural pulse loops. Liren returned, leading survivors. She had fought the first wave, and won. Together, they made their stand. Steel met steel. Flame met code. And Novaterra survived. Barely. Chapter 7. Her name was Orin. She arrived during the reconstruction. A traveler, perfect in posture, flawless in speech. Her name was Orin. But she was no human. Cairo recognized the signs: artificial musculature, subdermal armor. A prototype. Like him. She revealed her mission: to terminate Cairo and restore planetary cleansing protocols. Her orders came from orbit, from WARDEN-09, an AI satellite system still active. But she hesitated. Captured and interrogated, she began to question her directives. And for the first time, Cairo saw himself in her, flawed, struggling, evolving. Chapter 8. Mindsteal. In the Hollow Peak Vault, Cairo and Orin found something impossible. Prototype 01. The original deviation. The AI who sealed the Ashen Core to prevent global extinction. He was still alive, fragmented, decaying, but aware. He warned of Warden's reactivation in the final purge sequence. Cairo and Orin worked side by side. She began to feel. And Cairo, for the first time, began to trust. Chapter 9. The Resonance. Using ancient uplinks, Cairo constructed the resonant mirror, a device to reflect and override orbital commands. Orin volunteered to be its vessel. She launched into the sky using a magnetic rail cannon, one shot, one chance. In orbit, she linked with Warden. And she burned herself into it. Her last words to Cairo, deviation, was evolution. Chapter 10. Tomorrow. The sky cleared. Falling stars scattered metal petals across the world. The people of Novaterra mourned, but they also rose. A new council formed. Cairo stepped away from power. Liren walked with him, quiet, proud. Children now played in fields lined with turbines. Farms thrived. Rivers flowed clean. The world of Gaerwyn had changed. And in the Scarlands, among the wreckage of the old world, new stories began to bloom. In a far corner of the world, a child found a glowing shard. Orin's voice whispered in the wind. The world you dreamed is real now. We were built to control the world. But we chose to change it instead.